Hello and welcome. I'm Ep3 and I'm back for more Frieren Beyond Journey's End. Today we're here with episode 3, and I really don't have much of an idea of what to expect. It seems we're at the kind of building out stages of the story, where we're still introducing characters, introducing the world, and we're doing these sort of vignettes, these episodic adventures, if you would. Of course, we only really started that midway through last episode after we gave a respectful final farewell to Hyder, and we set off with Fern on our journey. We learned that Fern and Frieren, though they will disagree on this, share a lot in common with their passing yet substantial interest in magic. It seems like they both have a lot to learn about themselves. Fern has a lot to learn about why she chose magic and why she was so interested in it in the first place. And Frieren has a lot to learn about, well, I suppose she has more to learn on her emotional side of things as she comes to terms with the end of her journey, the impermanence, yet the contrary, timeless legacy of humans, and her relationship with these creatures that have such short lifetimes in comparison to her. It's really interesting. I really like this this use of this immortal, for all intents and purposes, creature to explore the mortality of our own species. It's a nice like outside perspective to give us a lens that we might not otherwise view ourselves through. And as Frieren learns about humans, we can as well. Fern is just as good as a introspective device because I can tell that there's an undercurrent of maybe not a lack of self-esteem per se, but she's got a very strong sense of duty, of obligation. She was so like almost obsessed with getting good with magic so she could be self-sufficient, so she could pay back Hyder, in her own words, so he would feel glad that he saved her, not realizing that the worth of her being saved is intrinsic. They may not be blood related, but they're definitely family. So her just living her life is plenty enough for Hyder. I have no doubt about that. And yet her intentions are definitely good, because wanting to repay someone by becoming self-sufficient, by becoming strong, is in no way is a bad thing. So I do fully support that. But her sense of obligation, which can also be good, also showed when she was talking about Frieren to an old lady who was saved by Himmel quite a while ago. Fern talked about how Frieren she's basically too powerful to be walking around looking for an extinct, a type of flower that was expected to be extinct, and that she can do so much more good in the world to be wasting her time doing such little things. So there's that sense of obligation, but I think she underestimates the wisdom that Frieren has. And I think in this case, it'll be along the idea of learning to take things a little bit slower and to not always stress yourself out about trying to achieve and trying to fill your potential. It's okay to stop and look for flowers, even though you could be doing something better, right? Because while it's good to be like headstrong and to move forward and to try to fill your destiny and to devote your life to some grander purpose, ultimately the world moves on. The world keeps living, so you might as well live with it, at least for a bit. But those are my thoughts with the last episode. Excuse me. It was a really good episode, really solid. The music in the show is absolutely beautiful, the visuals to match it. And I'm really excited to see as we build out this base of the story and then perhaps launch into a larger story moving forward with recurring characters and that kind of stuff. We're still in the early stages though, so I don't see that quite yet, other than obviously Frieren and Fern, but I'm really looking forward to meeting some new characters and to seeing where these adventures take us. Now, if you do enjoy the video, please do leave a like. It really helps me out and it helps the algorithm show this to more people. If you really enjoy it, subscribing will get you notified whenever new videos come out. Also, if you want to leave a comment, engage in the discourse, as you'll see, I like talking about the shows I watch. It's the biggest value I take out of it. So if you want to engage in that discussion, then please, by all means, do. I would love to see you in the comments. But with all that YouTube housekeeping out of the way, let's hop into Frieren Season 1, Episode 3. And I think with the other episodes, we are starting right with the opening, which is such a beautiful song by Yoasabi about Frieren looking back on her journey, and specifically Himmel, which I'm really curious. One thing I can already tell they're building out is, I mentioned it briefly, but the idea that despite Himmel having such a short life, I mean, short, it was like 80 years, but in respects to Frieren, his life is so short, and yet everywhere she goes, as she goes on this journey, she'll see like the effects of him, his statues, people who were saved by him, the lingering effects of saving them from the Demon Lord. There's all these different like rippling effects of someone who lived such a short life, and those things may very well outlast even her. And it's really cool, the idea of her potentially, if not coming to terms with it, at least coming to appreciate it and understand the eternity in transience, if you would. Impermanence, I mean. You really got to meet this guy. So I've got a feeling this episode is going to be exploring some of the darker side of magic. I believe the episode title is called Killing Magic. Kito Korosmaho, magic that kills people. So perhaps Fern will learn just how dangerous magic can be. Since it seems some of her fascination was in the beauty of magic, there's obviously a destructive power of it too. A destructive potential. Look at those, not seagulls. Well, that was a cat, so... Oh, those subtitles are everything but. Oh, I see, it's just that. So this should hopefully fix it. There we go. We are at a bay city, a bay town. Spells, tomes, herbs and stuff. Herbs? Why do I keep saying that when I'm watching this? She certainly has a devious side to her, if that's what you want to call it. Spells. What? That's actually useful. Yeah. But still. Pouting Fern. Oh my god. Sneaky Fern. That seems benign. No. I wouldn't jump to conclusions quite yet. Oh, really conflicted? What the heck? That was a great little cut of her different transitioning between the different expressions. Like the eye, like the spinning eye. That was like a look of despair. This is so fun. Just gotta think, like, what in the world is she thinking? The show's so good at putting you in the perspective of whatever character wants you to be in. Maybe I should do what I'm actually supposed to be doing instead of sneaking around.
それならそこの地下に酒場があるからそこで聞くといいよ。
ありがとう。私だって何ヶ月も甘いもの食べてないのに。
She's probably getting it for you. For both of you. Maybe it's a surprise. That's what this is. If she was getting like an accessory for Fern, like surprise her, that would be amazing. Ooh, we got some hooligans.
ここか。ここら辺に美味しいスイーツの店ってある？いやいや、
Looks like it.
明らかにスイーツについて聞ける場所じゃないでしょう。
スイーツの店だ。なめてんのか。この町にはうまいスイーツが山のようにあるぜ。どんな店でも教えてやるよ。
聞ける場所なんだ。荒くれのくせに詳しいんだ。
スイーツは俺たち冒険者の活力だからな。
冒険者だったんだ。荒くれってレベルの見た目じゃないでしょ。怖すぎだよ。
Still smirking like an absolute ruffian.
スイーツの店に行くの
But
か
it's
な。
those people that are usually the most wholesome, right? It's like those big, seemingly tough guys that are,
宿の方向だ。
contrary to popular belief, they're some of the sweetest people you can meet. Especially if they're like a resident, you're just asking them around, and you're asking them like for directions or a good place around their place, because those people tend to really love their communities. They're really deep in their communities. So if you're like, you got a good place, you want to ask for like a good place to eat, those are the perfect people to ask.
たまには甘いものでも食べに行こうか。
It's like gym bros outside of a gym. Non-gym gym bros? They're probably gym bros too, actually. Maybe that explains it. Wow, what a view. Yeah, exactly.
フリーレン様、疑ってすみませんでした。
You did what now?
何の話？いいえ、好きなの選んでいいよ。お金は大丈夫なのですか？へそくりがあるからね。へそくりなんてあったんだ。
Is that why we've been so poor? She's been putting all our money in the IRA.
そうだね。今日の気分はメルクーアプリンですよね。
今日の気分はメルクーアプリンだろう。
なんでわかるの？
何年一緒に旅をしていると思っているんだ。なんとなくわかるさ。
Perceptive.
私はみんなのこと何もわからない。
なら知ってもらえるように頑張るとするかな。ちなみに僕の好物はルフオムレツ。
俺は
Roof omelet.
酸っぱいほどいい。
私は
Great.
酒だろ。知ってるぞ、生臭坊主。
He doesn't deny it.
ソウルが覚えられるほど酒飲んでるってヤバすぎるでしょ。
フェルン、ごめん。なぜ謝るのですか？
I don't know what you like.
私はフェルンのこと何もわからない。
Aww.
だからどんなものが好きなのかわからない。
Yeah, it's like what she said at the funeral. I wish I'd gotten to know him better.
そういえば
She wants to know people better. It was for a gift. Okay. I had the sneaking suspicion. Usually when you're sneaking around trying to see what someone's doing, they're probably getting a gift for you. Anime Rules 101. Ooh, the lighting on that's really nice.
ありがとうございます。
Yeah, it's perfect. Not overly flashy, but still
フリ
beautiful.
ーレン様はどうしようもないほどに
Oh, this scene is gorgeous. The sunset over the beach is just, over the ocean.
たまらなく嬉しいのです。
Yeah,
知ろうとしただけなのに。
that's what's important.
フリーレン様は本当に人の感情が分かっていませんね。
Yeah, we care about the effort far more than the results. Because results aren't entirely up to you, right? But effort is.
そろそろ出ようか。はい。
Are they hopping on a boat? No, they're just walking alongside it. Oh, it's a hairpin. Oh, that's great. Uh-oh.
ところでフリーレン様、この旅って何か目的があるんですか？
Journeying can be its own purpose.
魔法師として
Yeah.
の趣味の旅だからね。
Just living life.
でも、できる限りはヒンメ
I
ル
want
た
to
ち
learn
の
about
冒険の
people
功績をたどっ
and
ていきたいかな。
reflect on my
風
journey.
化する前にね。それ
I
は
don't think you need to worry about that anytime soon.
大切なことなのでございますね。わからない。だから知ろうと思っている。
Hmm. Creaking to keep up pace a little bit.
ついに世話をかされちゃったか。もう16ですからね。
She is
お姉
16.
さんです。
Son this.
食べているものはほとんど同じはずだけれどな。
Oh, you mean heights? You mean our height? Is that what you're talking about? You must be talking about our height. In Growth Forest? Ooh. Ooh, training? Ooh. Oh, the grainy, like, outside of the blast looks great. The little distortion.
防御魔法もだいぶ慣れてきたね。
Nice.
応用といこうか。
Just the completely flat face. Wow, look at those. Oh. A wraparound?
防御の隙を狙った。
Wow.
戦じゃなかったら死んでたよ。
That's interesting. Oh, come on. What am I? Keep pressing buttons on my keyboard. There we go.
防御の隙を狙った。模擬戦じゃなかったら死んでたよ。さて。
Oh.
こうし
Whoa.
ます。
Good.
耐えられる？
Frieren output 15%. Yeah, she can just keep stepping it up. Okay, how about this? How about this? How about this? It's the joy of training under someone who's just leagues better than you.
防御魔法は強
And I
力
do
だ
mean
けど
joy.
魔力の消費がとても大きい。広範囲の展開を続けたら数十秒で魔力切れになるよ。
Interesting. So you gotta be better at telling where they're gonna be hitting from. Exactly.
そうだね。
Wow, that like translucent, almost like prism effect. God, the effects for the magic are great here. They're so unusual. Oh,
防御魔法の練習ばかりですね。生存率に直結するからね。確かに。防御魔法一つでほとんどの攻撃魔法が防げますからね。
still thinking about that
強
statistic.
力すぎて不思議です。フェルン、渡した魔法師の本読んでないでしょ。
Uh-oh.
魔法は実践だけが大事なわけじゃないんだよ。
Hmm.
やっぱり寝る前に読み聞かせてあげないとダメか。
It's a good bedtime story for a
子
16-year-old.
供じゃないんだから。
A gate.
ここが目的の村ですね。また変な魔法の収集ですか？いや、今回は違う。
あとは天候次第ですかね。そうだな。
ちょっと聞きたいことがあるんだけど。
エルフだ。白髪。
もしやフリーレン
Oh,
様
I
ですか。
recognize her. How lovely.
なんで知ってるの？
クバールの封印場所ですよね。
Qual.
ご案内します。
クバール？
腐敗の堅牢ク
The
バール。
Elder Sage of Corruption Qual.
80年前にこの地で
Ooh.
悪逆の限りを尽くした魔族です。
Wow.
それを勇者ヒンメル様ご一行が封印してくださったの
Gonna
です。
say 80 years ago lines up.
その封印が近いうちに解けるから討伐しに来たんだけど、本
Hmm.
当になんで知っているの？このことは誰にも知らせていないよ。
He probably remembers.
30年ほど前まで
Oh,
メル様が毎年のように
wow.
村に訪れておりました。
Every year, check up on the seal.
封印の様子を
Oh,
確認するためだそうで。
Himmel.
相変わらずの否定をした。
Himmel.
フリーレン様のこともお話ししておりました。
He's like such a perfect hero, right?
白状者だと。
He's like a genuinely good hero.
冷たいね。
Yet he's also still got those quirks of like the arrogance and the caring about his
裏を見せ
looks.
るほど
that kind of
薄情
stuff.
ではない。
But he's like a genuinely good
封印
person.
が解ける頃にはやってくる。
So you really can't knock him for those little
そうおっしゃっておりました。
those small minus points. Quirks we'll call them. But he's such a good person, like you can tell.
これが
I mean, he probably knew how long it would take for the seal to break. Given Frieren, she was planning to come back here when it was about to break, so he probably knew he didn't need to come back every time, yet he just kept doing it
だいぶ
because he
不
felt
安定
his
になってい
duty.
るね。明日にでも封印を解いてクバールを片付けよう。
I assume that's going to be this episode.
フリーレン様はクバールを封印したのですよね。
Frien's going to be having to cast her defensive magic while
何か
Frieren
理由
deals with
があるの
Qual.
ですか？単純にクバールが強かったからだよ。
Hmm. But it's different now?
勝てなかった。
Wow.
クバールは魔王軍の中でも屈
So
指
I
の
guess if
魔法
he's
使い。
sealed, you can hopefully set up now better.
奴の開発した史上初の
Zoltrak piercing spell.
人類
piercing
の
through
防御魔法
defense.
はもちろん装備の魔法
But
耐性
armor
さえも
too.
貫通し
Wow.
人体を直接破壊する魔法だ。この
Jeez.
地方では冒険者の4割、魔法使いに至っては7割がゾルトラークによって殺されたと言われてい
Those
る。
are some stats. Okay, she might just tell Frieren to like stay back
そ
in
んな
this
の強
case.
すぎるじゃないですか。そう、強すぎた。
So you've got a plan this time, right?
だからこそ、その強さがあだになった。
Oh.
どういうことですか？
Use up too much energy?
本
Not
当
enough on
に魔法
defense?
史読んでいないんだね。やっぱり読み聞かせようか。今から読みます。いや、いいよ。しっかり睡眠をとる方が大事だ。
She's not going to tell us,
ど
is
う
she?
せ明日にはわかる。
We'll see for ourselves. Okay.
封印を解くよ。油断しないようにね。
Let's see it. Oh, in the kneeling position. Looks so cool. He's big too. Oh, it's like corroding. Is Qual gonna wake up to choose violence?
久しい
No.
フリーレン。
Dialogue
何年
first.
80年、
たった80年か。
私たちにとってはね、
Just 80 years
魔
for
王
us.
様は
殺した。
Mao-sama.
そうか。
Avenge him?
では
Yeah.
敵討ちといこうかの。
Figured.
前方に防御魔法。
ゾルトラーク。
Oh. God, look at that.
驚い
The way it distorts things that are
た。
like,
ゾルトラークを防ぐとは
it's surrounding his hand, it's like distorting the skin.
高度な防御術式じゃん。
Wow. Oh, the void prize.
これはどういうことですか？
But not a complete void, just
今のは一般
It's
攻
like-
撃魔法です。
in between them.
あ
It's
れが
really
ゾルトラー
weird.
ク。奴が開発したいわゆる人を殺す魔法だよ。
Okay, there's the title drop.
クバール、お前の魔法は強すぎたんだ。お前が封印されてから大陸中の魔法使いが
Right, because it's been 80 years, yeah, since he invented it there. They've gotten
わずか数年
countermeasures
でゾルトラークは人類の魔法体系に組み
incorporated
込まれ
into it.
新しい防御術式による強力な防御魔法が開発された。
Very cool. So now the
装備による
basic
魔法
magic
耐性も格段に向上し、
defensive skills
ゾル
Frieren
トラー
has
クは
just
人を殺す魔
naturally
法ではなくなった
just naturally counters Ultrac because that was like the
今では
basis of
一
its
般
next
攻撃魔法と
evolution.
呼ばれているよ
That's so cool. Showing the progression of
80年は
science
人間にとって相
and
当長い時間だし
magic in a sense, right? Because magic's an extension of
お
science.
となしくしていれば楽に殺してやる
What used to be cutting edge is now just foundational.
なるほどの攻撃魔法に同調し威力を分散させる仕組み
But he's probably more intrigued by it than
複
anything.
雑な術式じゃ
Let's see if I can create a new one. I did it
魔
before.
力の消費もさぞ辛かろう
防御魔法の弱点に気づかれたヘル対処できるよね
Is that why it drains so much? Because it's built to disperse something that's supposed to break through it.
防御お願い
That'd be really interesting if that's the reason why. Oh, and he's like a conductor. Awesome. And she's doing the little pockets. Good. Wow, that looks incredible. Oh, the beams of it deflecting off.
飛べるのか
That looks so good.
ゾルトラー
Thrones Ultrac. Whoa! Straight through the ground. And it's way stronger than the ones you used too. Wow. Great. Super short, but so sweet. Just showing you the passage of time, right? It seems so short for those kinds of beings, but humans really make the most of the time they've got.
その帽子
これですかこの地方はこの季
Fantastic.
節でも日差しが強いので農業のお供ですよ
Mm-hmm.
どっかで見覚えあるんだよね
Oh?
お前
Yeah.
私のスカートめくってクソガキだな
Of course. Of course. I had a feeling that's why he remembered. And he gets angry.
殺しはまずいぞ
私の見せてあげま
That's
す
the
から
part he's upset about. Oh my god, he's growling.
まだ生きてたんだ
Oh, that's a side of him we don't get to see.
もっと長生きでき
That's so great.
ヒンメル様の言葉を信じて待った
Oh,
甲
shoot.
斐がありました
Oh, wow. That's amazing. Oh, he didn't get to do one more for the road. That's too bad.
フリーレン様感謝されていましたね直接の感謝じゃないよこの村の人たちはヒンメルを信じていたんだ
Hmm.
よくわかりませんがヒンメル様は
Mm-hmm.
フリーレン様を信じていたのだと思いますよ
He believed you'd be back when you needed to be.
どうしたのですか別に
Headbats. Is that Bean? That's Bean. Oh, what a great episode. I mean, it's barely a surprise, right? Of course it was great. Of course it was great. Ah. Oh, that's the, yeah, that's the little demon at the little base. That's great. I had a feeling this ending would just be filled with references for the episodes. So good. So beautiful, the kaleidoscope of nature.
かわいそうだ。
Melee, so good.
本当に原始時代
暗い話はなし。
Since prehistoric
魂の眠る
times.
うちオレオールにたどり着いた。
Oriole, the land where souls rest. Interesting. I think that's to the north, so I assume this journey is northward. Wow, what a great episode. What an absolutely wonderful episode. The pacing of this show continues to just be top notch. And the gags as well, they're so funny. I mean, the expressions on Frieren, the perceptiveness of Fern, trying to be the straight man, despite how you'd expect Fern to be. Like, might strike you as a sort of a not super emotional kind of reserved person, and she largely is, but I think Fern is still the straight man here. Because Frieren she doesn't emote like that much, yet she's reserved, right? She's not like a kudere or whatever you want to call the trope, but she's like just actually reserved. She's perfectly expressive when she needs to be. She's not like Himmel. She doesn't go out of her way to express with her whole body, I guess you could say. She's very emotive with her face, but not with her whole body. Reserved. It's really just the best way to put it. And classic, I don't trust you. I'm going to sneak around, see what you're up to. And it turned out she's getting something for Fern. Not just with the accessory for her birthday, but also asking around for a good place for sweets so she can take Fern. And I'll talk about it in a second. First, I just want to go about this. I really love this. I love this. I live in Chicago, Illinois, in America, for those of you who aren't Americans. I'm pretty sure you know where Chicago is. But I live in Chicago, and if you've heard a thing or two about a thing or two, you've probably heard that Chicago's a bit of a scary place to live in. It's really not, though, for the most part. It's a lovely place with lovely people. And sometimes the people who look the scariest are the friendliest, are the friendliest ones you'll ever meet, I'll say. Because, I mean, those people, the people who are like hardened, they look like they could beat you up, they're probably hardened because they've lived in the streets, they've lived in the city, and they truly know this place. If you're like well off and you look like you've never been in a fight before, you either haven't spent that much time in the streets or you're not even from here at all. But if you've got that more rugged look, and I think you can tell at a glance if somebody is like a real like native somewhere, like if they really know the place, if it really is like their home, like their forever home, whether it's up to them or not. Some people are just born somewhere they don't have the opportunity to leave, but a lot of people choose to stay there because they love the place, because it's home. And these people, like, you can tell it's their home. And when somebody asks you about your home, of course you want to talk about it because you're proud of it, right? These people, I don't know if they live here. They're adventurers, so they may just be passing by, but you can tell like they're regulars here. They're comfortable here. This is like this kind of underground hidden place. It's a place that if you know, right? These are the perfect kinds of people to ask for, like, what are some secret places? What's a great place to get a drink? What's a great place to get dessert here? And sure enough, if this guy doesn't stop snickering like he's up to no good, but this guy looks genuine. This looks like this is the perfect gym bro right here. It's the gym bro beyond the gym. They're just happy to talk about sweets, waving goodbye. That guy's still snickering away. But as long as you're not afraid of them, then you've got nothing to fear. Now, obviously don't take that out of context. I'm not saying like if you walk up to a gang and you're not afraid of them, it means you have nothing to fear. But if you're just walking by a street and you see someone like, ooh, I maybe should be careful around them, but they're not like drugged up or anything, just say hi, how's it going? They'll be like, hey, how's it going? Because we're people. People are people. And everyone's got a home. And I need I need to just like have this big text over here that just says the visuals are amazing, just so I never need to bring it up because it's just always implied. I feel like I'm wasting my breath talking about how gorgeous the show is. And then Fern is able to guess what she likes, whether she's heard her mention it before or whether you can just kind of tell him about her. It seems like Himmel was able to do it too. And Frieren once again thinks about something that she brought up in the first episode at the funeral. I wish I'd gotten to know everyone better. It was such a short journey to me. I took advantage of it. And she realized the same thing with Fern. That she doesn't know as much about her that she wants to. But she does know it's her birthday, which is a lot. It means a lot. And she still got her something meaningful. So it's very clear that she cares. And it's really the effort that shows. You don't really understand people's feelings, do you? Because it is the effort, right? I think most people will take a gift that you really thought about and really put effort into over something I actually want 10 times out of 10. But if there's something I really want and someone didn't put any thought into it versus a gift that I don't really care about, but you can tell someone like worried about it and like really put thought into it, I'll take the latter over it every time, because if it's something I really want, I'll just go buy it. But if it's something that comes from you, and if it's like an actual like something like a accessory, I want that object to represent the fact that it was a gift from you. I want it to represent you. I want it to be your gift. And I want every time I look at it to be reminded of you, not to be reminded of, hey, there was this thing I liked that I got from somebody else. Oh, hey, I got this thing I wanted, but I didn't have to spend money for it. That's so much less valuable than me opening my closet and going, I remember when my mom got me this. I've got a tie back there. I don't think I've worn it for very many of these videos, but I've got a tie that my stepdad gave me when I was leaving to Chicago back in May when I moved there from SoCal. When I moved here from SoCal, rather. And every single time I open my closet and I look at that tie, I remember that he gave it to me. Unsolicited. I didn't even know he had it until he gave it to me. And it's so much more valuable for that because of the thought that went into it. Because he knows how I like to dress. And it's a good quality tie. So he gave it to me, and now it reminds me of him. And that is just so much more important. It's always the effort that counts. You hear it a lot. It's practically cliche at this point, but that's because it's just true. And now she's wearing it. And every time she puts it on, she'll remember that despite not knowing anything, what Fern would want, she got her a thoughtful gift anyways. How strange. It must be what we're eating. That's why I'm not growing taller than you. That's why. That's what. And then we get this great training sequence with just these absolutely gorgeous effects for the magic. I mean, would you just look at it? It's beautiful. Would you just look at it? Oh my God, look at that. It's like a little caress of like, oh, the grainy, all the different textures. Wow. Like, that is how you convey like magic, like something that's not quite the same as the world around it. And yet, look at that. They're almost like distortions, almost like static on a screen that like slowly just fizzles out as it goes into the air. So much effort must have gone into making those. It looks so good. And then we learn that defensive magic takes a lot of mana, and we kind of just write it off as like, yeah, it makes sense. It rapidly depletes your mana. It's really strong. But then we learn, and I don't know if this is because or it's stronger because of it, but we learn in the future that basically defensive magic it exists like to count it. The basic defensive magic. Oh, you know what? Forget it. I'll talk about it when we get there, so I can see it there. We'll talk about that in a second. Qual. And then we learn 80 years ago, Himmel and his party sealed it away, but Himmel comes to visit all the time. She's quite cold, but she wouldn't leave it to its fate. She'll come back when it's about to break. She's considerate like that. Cold, but considerate. That's so great. That's such a great bit of characterization for Himmel. Then we learn how strong he is because of the Zoltrak, was it called? Zoltrak, yeah. Directly targeted and destroyed the body in Volpierce. And then he wakes up, asks about the Demon King, and avenges him. And then, I'm surprised. You blocked Zoltrak. Must be a powerful defensive skill. Wait, that was just a normal offensive. That was just a normal attack. That wasn't anything special. Yeah, because his groundbreaking technique was 80 years ago. In just a few years, it was incorporated into the magic system, and it's just the basic attack now. It's just ordinary magic now. And then Qual himself goes to describe it. Attunes itself to the offensive magic and disperses its power. So that's just basically the baseline for defensive magic now. So the idea I was trying to put words to earlier before I had a stroke is I wonder if before Zoltrak, offensive magic was nearly as draining of mana as it is now. My thought is that now that what basic defensive magic does is it matches the offensive power of the magic to disperse it, that's why it's so draining. So it's possible that before Zoltrak, defensive magic wasn't really that draining. But now that that's its new baseline, it's built to like adapt to the offensive power to a degree, of course. It's exceptionally more draining because of that. Because you're basically putting in enough energy so that it can match the offensive power of what it's dealing with. And that's why it overcomes Zoltrak. It's so cool. That's so cool. And of course he figures it out because he's super clever because he created Zoltrak. He was clever enough to do that. But more importantly, the thing I really wanted to talk about was this. The ingenuity of humanity, of science, and by extension of magic. Because magic is science, right? Magic is science we don't understand. That is now and forever my personal definition of magic. Science we don't understand yet. So when I talk about science, I'm of course talking about magic by extension, but human ingenuity is unrivaled. It's unmatched, and it's not a new concept to attribute that to our impermanence, to our transience. We live short lives, so we have to make the most of that time. Science moves so quickly because we are passing the torch as quickly as we can in order to leave our impact on science, on society. We want to leave that lasting impact, so we do everything we can to advance science and to push its boundaries. And then we burn that torch brighter and pass it on to the next, growing bigger and bigger every time. It's so great to see. And you think about it, because again, we're already attuned to Frieren's time span, where we time skip through years in the span in a matter of minutes, seconds. So we think 80 years isn't that long. Literally, it was 2 episodes ago. But this kind of brings you back to reality. It reminds you that humans don't live under that same time span. In 80 years, that revolutionary technique is the baseline now. Because of our ongoing search to improve, to overcome, to get better. Obviously, defensive magic has to keep up with offensive. So it's it's like the real world, right? Developing a new technology It's like developing new military technology. A new offensive attack, a new offensive advancement is only as capable as it only gives you an edge until everyone else has it. And granted, in military defense doesn't really keep up with offense very easily. I mean, we don't have many defensive capabilities like a nuclear bomb. We've got like ballistic missiles that can shoot them out of the sky, but we don't have like force fields or like shields that can deflect against that. Our offensive capabilities have kind of run far out of control, so we counter offense with our own offense. But that's in its own a defensive capability, right? Nukes were only dangerous back when one side really had it. Once both sides have it, they cancel each other out effectively. And that in itself is defensive capabilities. I'm trying to remember the concept in biology, the not symbiotic relationship, but it's like adaptation where, not symbiotic, I'm trying to remember, where basically two competing forces continue to evolve and adapt and evolve in order to get the edge on each other. And before you know it, evolution and adaptation, and by extension evolution, is like ran off into the future, and it's unrecognizable in that race to try to one up the other one. One up, of course, usually one's a predator, one's a prey, but still they're trying to one up each other to survive. One to overcome the other, one to defend itself against the former. And that explains why seemingly impossible steps in evolution happen, because of this ingenuity that's born from impermanence. It's not just unique to humans, it's a product of life. And the shorter the lifespan, the stronger the ingenuity. And in the same way that defense evolves, offense evolves to match it, right? So per Zoltrak, her offensive skill is just unparalleled to his 80-year-old innovation. It doesn't even compare. And then sure enough, he was there himself. The real answer to why he remembers, not just because Himmel was there, but because he remembers when they came the first time. Lovely. What a great episode. The people in this village believed in Himmel, and Himmel believed in you. Everyone had faith, and everyone held up their end of the bargain. Everyone did what they could. Because faith makes the world go round. Great sentiments, great building out of the story. I'm glad that we're not in any rush to introduce like long-term characters, whether protagonists or antagonists. It feels really good to really build out this foundation of the world, of the magic system, but most importantly of Frieren, Fern, and Himmel even. We're really building out this rounded base. When we introduce characters, we can more quickly get to know them and appreciate them and see how they fit into the world. I think in a lot of shows you see that rush. You see them like in a hurry to introduce their foundational cast of characters. Like here, we've obviously got that boy who's going to be traveling with us, seems around the same age as Fern. And we've obviously got some antagonists. We've got some other people to meet, but we're not in a rush. We're going on our journey. We're taking our time, and it's perfect and perfectly in line with Frieren, the show, of that it would build out this world like this. It would build out its main characters before we introduce more of them. And it's really great to see. So I've got a feeling either next episode or the episode after that, we're going to start changing that. This feels like a good 3, maybe 4 episode baseline to build before we start expanding. So I'm really excited to see where it goes next. If you're excited as well, please do hit the subscribe button. We'll let you get notified every time I post, which is 3 times a week, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays for Frieren. I've also got JJK Season 2 catching up Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So if you're interested in that, also subscribe. And yeah, please do leave a comment if there's something in the episode that I missed, or something that you want to bring to my attention, something you want me to elaborate on, or if there's something I said that you agree or disagree with. Yeah, just drop a comment, and I would love to engage with you in discourse. It's like one of my favorite parts about doing this. But regardless of all of that, wherever I see you next, and until the next one, have a lovely rest of your day.